Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We have come full circle regarding the Ubisoft Yasuke situation with Assassin's Creed Shadows. And as expected, anytime they introduce a black or female character, they cannot just continue to do that and just write it out with that. They need to make everything tied to the LGBTQ, especially since you have Gay Month coming up. So shout out to all you guys who are getting your armor suits on ready for Gay Month, because we all know YouTube's going to have a grand old time with that. Apparently, Yasuke and Naoe are now LGBTQ plus in Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh, gay, so gay.
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, whether or not this is true, and we're going to find out as we read this article, whether or not it's true, it doesn't matter, because ultimately at the end of the day, we know that Ubisoft will absolutely do something like this. Even if it's not now, they would do something like this in the future. It's Ubisoft at the end of the day. They are one of the ultimate DEI companies out there. If you ask anybody in the industry, Ubisoft is leading the way when it comes to making terrible decisions. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says Assassin's Creed Shadows developer Ubisoft appeared to confirm that the game's two main protagonists, Yasuke and Naoe, are LGBTQ plus characters. Now, a lot of people are having an argument about whether or not it's a historical fact about Yasuke being a samurai and whether or not he should represent all of feudal Japan. Obviously, I disagree with the second half. I don't think he should represent all of feudal Japan, and yet here we are where he is. Now, we all know why Ubisoft decided to make this decision, and the last thing on their mind was accurate representation, if you catch my drift. They just decided to see their way in to push a DEI agenda while also being able to claim historical accuracy. This is why they love doing these things, and that's why they chose Yasuke. But the funny thing is, if you're going to claim historical accuracy, if you're going to go that route when you're talking about Yasuke or anything else in Assassin's Creed Shadow, which, by the way, they didn't really do this for any other Assassin's Creed, but all of a sudden, because the character is black, now they want to talk about historical accuracy and how important it is. But I digress. Now they're going to make these characters LGBTQ. If that is the case, then that basically throws out the historical accuracy argument completely out the window. I mean, does everything have to be gay? I mean, at this point, I guess it does. It says in a blog post on the company's website published on May 15th, the company declared Naoe and Yasuke, disparate personalities, also lead them to have different relationships and rapports with other characters, and they don't always feel the same way about people, nor do people always feel the same way about them. Next, they discuss romance options romantically. They will also attract and be attracted to different types of people. Through the pair, players will get to experience a multitude of relationships. This revelation comes amid Ubisoft contracting with Dartmouth Associate Professor Sachi Smith-Hori, Sachi, who is an LGBTQ activist. Oh, so this, honestly, wait, this makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense. Hold on, time out. I totally forgot that Ubisoft had actually contracted a diversity, equity, and inclusion LGBTQ activist to be their consultant. Yes, they have LGBTQ consultancy on this game. And I remember making a video and saying, why would they need an LGBTQ activist to consult on a game based in feudal Japan? That just doesn't make any sense to me. And now it looks like we know why. It says that Sachi is a LGBTQ activist with her biography on Dartmouth's website reading, I am interested in investigating how gender, sexuality, corporeality, and power are represented and negotiated in pre-17th century Japanese narratives and illustrations. My first book, Tales of Idolized Boys, Male-Male Love in Medieval Japanese Narratives, is on medieval Chiko Monogatari, which often depict romantic relationships between Buddhist priests and adolescent boys. Yeah, this thing is fucking weird, man. This thing is completely weird. I remember when I did a video on her, and that's her book talking about Buddhist priests and adolescent boys. I mean, I don't even want to go there. It continues. My current project is on the literary representations of milk kinships. Wow. The website also reveals the classes she teaches, which I don't need to know. Of note, the official description for the publisher of Tales of Idolized Boys calls for a shift in the hermeneutic strategies applied to Chigo and Chigo Monogatari, and puts forth both a nuanced historicization of social constructs such as gender, sexuality, age, and agency, and a mode of reading propelled by curiosity and introspection. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if this person would be the one responsible for this, but I got gotta imagine that if you are hiring an LGBTQ consultant for a game like Assassin's Creed Shadows that is based in a time where LGBTQ wasn't even an acronym or even a thing, then I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, it's very clear that they're probably gonna go the avenue of allowing you to fuck men as Yasuke and to fuck girls as Naoe. It's probably going to be a thing, and it's kind of sad when you look at the whole picture. It says not only has the company contracted with this radical LGBTQ activist who appears to be promoting transgenerational sex, an alleged internal document shared to social media by Jeremy Hambley, aka The Quartering, in April, detailed that we are proud to represent the diversity and inclusion that exists in society as part of our everyday work. Representation is part of our DNA and will remain that way regardless of external pressure or influences. Well, like I said, Ubisoft is so far gone with the DEI stuff. That much we know for a fact. And listen, this company is going to do what they're going to do to ensure that DEI and ESG remain the most prominent in terms of decisions made within the corporation. What I want to talk about is why do we have an LGBTQ consultant in a game based in feudal Japan? I think the last thing on people's minds is gay sex, but I mean, hey, I guess this is where we're at, right? So ultimately what's going to happen is that we're going to see the results of this decision. Whether or not people buy the game or they don't, that's yet to be seen. They say their pre-orders are number one. I do not buy it because Suicide Squad also had number one pre-orders, and look what ended up happening to that game. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, that's a live service game. This is a single player game. You're absolutely correct. Assassin's Creed is going to have a bigger player base. That is without a doubt. People love the Assassin's Creed gameplay, but unfortunately, I wonder if going this extreme is going to make them lose enough sales to essentially prove everybody's point that nobody wants to be pandered to, nobody wants to be virtue signaled at, nobody wants to be basically talked down on and told that, hey, if you don't look at this stuff, if you don't enjoy this stuff, if you don't like this in your games, then you're a bigot. Like, nobody wants to deal with that. And, you know, the best example I can have of this in terms of popularity versus fuck around and find out is Doctor Who. I mean, again, look at what's happening with Doctor Who. I've done videos on Doctor Who, and Ncuti Gatwa is literally the worst doctor out there ever. And it's not because he's black. It's because he decided to go out there, attack the fans, attack the player, attack the entire fucking community of Doctor Who, and tell them if they don't like what they're seeing to go touch grass. And that doesn't necessarily mean about his race and skin color. If they don't like the leftist identity politics that are being pushed in it, if they don't like the message being pushed in it, then to go touch grass and don't watch it. And guess what ended up happening? They lost 2.5 million viewers. That is not a small amount. That is half the viewership that they had at their worst going into this new season. So it makes you wonder, even though Assassin's Creed is extremely prominent, which it is, I'll never take that away from it, and even though this game has a long legacy of banger games that, you know, people actually thoroughly enjoy, I think what's going to end up happening is that you're going to realize fuck around and find out is a thing. Even if this game is not massively hit in the beginning, it will probably be hit by the next one, even worse if they continue to do this nonsense. But let's be real, they're not going to do this nonsense past Japan. They're going to remain what they were doing every other Assassin's Creed game prior. The only reason they did it in Japan is because they don't like representing Eastern content without doing some form of modern day westernized identity politics into it. And with Yasuke, they found their way to do it, and they're going to stick to it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.
Men's room stall.